A $20 donation from John Hugh. Hey guys, still really enjoying the marathon. Keep it up, but why did you guys decide to run a game about playing as a perfectly normal dad? We had a $35 donation from Landstar MTG. Watching my first SGDQ marathon and loving every minute. Don't know any of the games that I've watched so far, but waiting for Final Fantasy, Zelda, and Pokemon. Good luck, everyone. You guys are incredible. $35 donation from Freak91. Had to donate for the fantastic Octodad run. $50 donation from Shuttertricks. I love GDQ. Keep up the great work. And when's Uber Goose getting back to GoldenEye? $20 donation from Naka. This is for Miss Cattykins. Totally stoked to see more ladies participating in these events. XX chromosomes represent. With a $15 donation from Santa4. Go Rachel, you're cuter than Geoff. Love, Josh. A $100 donation from Goost, going for the La-Mulana Remake hype. $20 donation from Brett Boyum. First time donating. Shoutouts to PJ, even if work keeps me from seeing his runs. This event is hosted by Speed Demos Archive, the premier community for video game speedruns, which is completing games as quickly as possible with extensive planning, practice, and knowledge of game mechanics and glitches. It is also hosted by Speedruns Live, which is the best site to race video games online against others. Players of all skill levels are welcome to join, whether you'd like to be competitive or just race casually with some friends. You can go to their page at speedrunslive.com for more information or to watch a wide variety of speedruns. We also have a very special $1 donation from Hiro Senpai. I met the love of my life watching GDQs, and she's watching right now. I think it's time to take the next step with her. Casey, from the moment we first played games together, I have been completely and utterly in love with you. I didn't realize it until recently how much we had in common, how much fun we were having together. You inspire me to be a better man and even a better woman. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Casey, will you marry me?
You hyped?
Okay, even though the game is now running, we still have the Mario Kart over the speakers.
Hey man, La-Mulana is like Mario Kart. Totally.
Is this the res we're gonna run this in? Yeah.
What?
I want to make sure that this is fun. Yeah. Yeah, these are all fun.
Oh, that MIDI guitar is hurting me.
Yep.
Sure.
All donations in the marathon are for Doctors Without Borders. They are an international medical humanitarian organization created by doctors and journalists in 1971 Today they provide independent, impartial assistance with more than 60 countries of people they help whose survival is threatened by violence, neglect, catastrophe, primarily due to conflicts, epidemics, malnutrition, exclusion from healthcare, or natural disasters. In 1999, they received a Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts.
I do.
Coming up next, we have La-Mulana. It looks like the remake has won the bid war.
Easy audio is, let me check and see if the, where is this?
The actual
Yeah, these are way down.
After La-Mulana, we have Risk of Rain.
Just crank them to both like 50 maybe.
Is that okay? Windowed.
The what? Oh yeah, go for it.
We had a $15 donation
Right on.
from Seven Sins. Greetings from the Netherlands. Thanks for running this awesome marathon. I've been tuning in since 2011 and I'm loving it so much. Shout out to the La-Mulana crew on SRL IRC, making awesome things happen. Hidden Distance, we're making it happen, man.
Cheers, Seven. I'm good to go anytime. Cool. Okay,
Cool.
give it the 3 count. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to La-Mulana.
So this is the La-Mulana Remake. Just a little bit of history while I'm skipping all of this text because it's just totally not important. The original La-Mulana was made and then released, I think, in 2005 in Japan by...
Yeah, 2006-ish, but yeah, close.
Yeah, independent software developer Nigoro. Then it was remade for the Nintendo WiiWare in 2011, and then a year later ported to PC. So La-Mulana is a, I guess you could call it a Metroidvania. It's a strong focus on exploration, collecting items, all that sort of stuff. A couple of people I know have referred to it as a Mistroidvania, in reference to the PC game Myst. Because of its many obscure and cryptic, difficult puzzles.
It's just a true Maze of Gallia simulator. Let's go with that.
Yeah, yeah. The original La-Mulana was heavily inspired by the MSX game, Maze of Gallius, which has a lot of those elements of solving puzzles, traps, and lots of things that kill you.
Yeah, getting lost and killed is a pretty common practice the first time anyone plays this game or the original. Honestly, so far, there's not a whole lot of differences between the two. The guidance gate and a lot of it's very, very similar to begin with.
Yeah, yeah. So we're only a couple of minutes into the run right here, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I already have the Holy Grail, so, you know, get wrecked, Indy. The Holy Grail is a really important item in this game, aside from being probably a priceless artifact. It's going to allow me to warp around to the different zones once I've read the different points that'll allow me to teleport like that.
Here's the first general puzzle difference in the game is, in the original you had to do that in a completely different order. It was smash the sword, steal the shield, and some other vague hints. And basically anyone who's played the original, they tweaked the remake ever so slightly so you will mess up the puzzles and die all over again. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, it's not going to be fun unless you're trolling your own fan base, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a far more fluid game. The original is very jankety and much like MSX style, where the remade versions, it still has a similar control setup, but it's a far more fluid experience.
So that's me using the Holy Grail to warp back to the surface. While I was down there, I just set up a couple of different puzzles, and I also collected some money. What I'm going to be spending that money on here is some software and some weights. So the weights are basically your currency for interacting with a lot of the different puzzles in the ruins by placing them on these daises. The other things that I bought were this hand scanner and this software that translates the La-Mulanese tablets that you find throughout the ruins. It's pretty necessary if you're playing this game casually, but it's also a necessary item if you are speedrunning the game, as there are things. For example, that's one of the Grail points, and you need to scan them before you can teleport to them.
There's also a new-ish puzzle in the remake to, I guess it's to further your knowledge of La-Mulanese. I've only ever played this in Japanese, but you have to scan, I think it's 4 specific tablets that let you read other tablets that are more complex. Is that?
Yeah. It's there's 3 of those tablets. It sort of works like a Rosetta Stone in a sense. These spikes are fake, by the way. So essentially, they'll allow me to translate some more ancient La-Mulanese text, which you need to finish the game. So I just scooped up my first sub-weapon. Items in this game are categorized into a couple of different areas. There are items that just sort of hang out in your inventory and you get a kind of passive benefit from. There's your main weapons, like the whip I've been using. Usable items, like the hand scanner, which are mostly puzzle-related items, and then the sub-weapons. So the first one I scooped up there was the shurikens, and the second one I just scooped up are the caltrops, which are literally the best item in the game. I'm not joking at all.
Damage boosts and stuff like that, and there is a sore lack of them in the original, and I'm definitely not salty about that at all or anything.
So this is kind of a cool damage boost right here. I'll see if I can get this. Nice.
Oh, right on.
So when Lameza falls a certain distance, Lameza being the character that you're playing, he'll wind up taking sort of like a fall stun. And this wastes a lot of time. It doesn't deal any damage to the player character, so you don't really need to worry about that, but it's definitely something you want to watch out for in a speedrun.
Yeah.
So by taking damage from that bat there, I do not enter that stun state.
So you don't actually get the rolling, they're throwing knives in the original, but the rolling sub-weapon, you don't actually get that, do you?
No, we don't get the rolling shurikens in the remake.
Rolling shuriken, all right, yeah.
So you notice I'm breaking open all of these pots and I'm collecting some of these treasure chests and that sort of thing. The reason for this is that there's quite a number of things that you need to buy in various shops throughout the game, like these, the Hermes boots, and I'm also going to pick up a few weights, which I'll need. You can see the amount of money that I have in the top right in the screen, and the number of weights right beside them, numbering 12 and 14 respectively.
So we've switched roles over in the donation studio. This is just to introduce myself, Das and Bro stepping in here. And thank you guys for your donations. We have a $100 donation from Vera Veronica for Sophia. We have $100 from Cox Christopher. Go Hidden, you have a bunch of folks from Gaming Force Interactive Forums rooting for you. Have fun like you usually do. You're always entertaining, and La-Mulana is such a great game. Good luck.
So I'm sure I made a lot of people sad by not getting crushed right there. There are
Definitely, that was a fun surprise on the first go around.
So one of those uses for the caltrops that I just used right there is you can wedge them into the top of ladders, and then when you climb back up into the ladder, you hit the caltrop, and that deals damage to Lameza. And whenever Lameza takes damage on a ladder, he'll fall off the ladder. So I'm going to be using that a whole lot throughout this run.
Yeah, and caltrops only do like 1 damage, so there's no risk of running your health out or anything using them unless you're just... I don't know, you would have to try something very special with the caltrops to run out of health on them.
Fun fact, I have in fact killed myself with Caltrop.
You've done that. You're just like, I don't want to talk about it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that one alone.
We have $50 from Doomin. This is an awesome event you guys are doing. I watched last year's but didn't get to donate. Definitely donating this year. I hope you guys keep doing these events.
So after I pick up this knife right here, which is going to be my second primary weapon, I'm going to be going for a very tricky move down this this pit right here. Yeah, I need to kill both of these bats on the way down.
Nice job. That's pretty good.
So the puzzle in here, I think it reads, those that fly will be cast down. That's damn right.
Yeah.
So what opens up that chest right there is basically killing both of the bats. Now you can do that the way that I did it, or you can wait around for them in the middle of the pyramid, and they're very random, and it generally takes a long time for them to come around to
The
you.
original version, yeah, they actually, the way they're placed in the original version, you have to basically wait on the pyramid and hope for the best, and it sucks.
I'm gonna get struck by lightning here, intentionally. It's a little bit of a damage boost and something that I'm going to need to take anyways, because that pot right there had a whole lot of money in it, and I really need it.
The original has a very different damage boost that allows you, for those that know the game, to get the ocarina, you have to go through a series of puzzles to get a statue, which we will explain later because it's a very fascinating puzzle. But you basically lightning boost yourself into a corner and just skip that entirely and get the ocarina early.
So the reason why I got struck by lightning there, any place in the ruins where you see kind of this ominous eye in the background, it's in the top left right here. There are a lot of items or objects in La-Mulana that are considered sacred, and if you hit them, you get punished. Now, sometimes these sacred objects are easy to pick out, and sometimes they're not. So it's one of the things the developers put into the game, I guess with the intention of pulling out some of the whole trial and error style of gameplay.
Yeah.
Because they actually want you to go around, read the puzzles, figure them out, and do all that kind of stuff, instead of just smacking
Just
every
whacking
wall.
every wall on the game and going, why am I dead?
It's a lot of damage. You really did.
Oh yeah, no, and the various rooms do different degrees of lightning damage. At least in the original, I'm not sure if the remake they're set or not, but
I believe it's set to like a quarter or a third.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
percentage based.
all right,
Spike damage is also set to a percentage of your health.
yeah,
The original was like negligible.
yeah, no, it's pretty much nothing as if you get enough health for it.
So I scooped up another couple of cool items there. The first is the axe, which you've seen me using. It's another primary weapon and does a lot of damage. I'm actually very early in the game to have that weapon right now. One of the things about La-Mulana is that it is a very non-linear game. So by knowing where everything is, you can actually go and get a lot of really powerful items very early, and that helps out a whole lot with the speedrun. The other item is the grapple claw. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's just, it also makes routing the game very difficult because every time, either in the remake or the original, if a new skip or something is found, it basically throws a wrench in the entire route for the most part, and you have to just start from scratch. It's not a very forgiving game to speedrun.
So right here I'm going to be talking to the Fairy Queen. This is both something that's plot important and is also really important to the route, as I need to go and get an item called the Isis Pendant and show it to her before she'll help me out. I'm going to put help in gigantic block quotes because sometimes they're not so great.
And that's a whole, the Isis Pendant thing's a whole new deal to the remake. Whole new room, whole new thing.
So I'm doing some puzzles while I go through this area, and you'll see me doing that quite a bit, where I'm setting up the area for things that I want to do when I come back through there later. in an attempt to minimize any backtracking that I do in the game.
And he just picked up a helmet, which lets him walk under waterfalls because definitely there is some logic, but not particularly.
You'll notice this isn't the same room I just left. And this place is the Twin Labyrinths. It's very confusing, particularly to people just starting out in the game. But thankfully I can sort of manipulate where I'm going depending on which ladders I'm going up, which ladders I'm going down, to scoop up those really important puzzle pieces.
Yeah. The actual gimmick of the Twin Labyrinths is every area in this game has a front side and a reverse side. The Twin Labyrinths is interconnected, and until you get a specific item, going up and down the ladders will swap you from side to side, basically, and it's like Hidden Distance said, it's incredibly confusing.
So we've got our first mini-boss coming up here. Because I have the axe really early, this is going to go very quickly.
What mini-boss?
That green thing hanging in the air is also something that drops off of regular enemies, although it's a lot more of it. They're called soul stones, and they fill up my soul meter, which is the blue bar underneath my health in the top left, as indicated by the green bar and the number. I want to manipulate just how many of those I pick up. There are random drops from the regular enemies, but the mini-boss's drops are guaranteed. So I want to basically engineer getting a full health refill right before I go to fight our first major boss in the game.
Just gonna fire off some donations here. $10 from Cogburn Dustin. Let Hidden know this is for good key fairy luck and no final boss crash luck. No pressure, Hidden. We have $30 from Miles Stewart. La-Mulana is a great game and this is a great cause. Good luck. We have $40 from Cancer Jacob. I've been sick all week, but luckily I've had this to watch. Thanks for making me feel better. Happy to contribute towards such a great cause. And $20 from Hamilton Linus. La-Mulana scarred me for life, so watching this is like sweet, sweet revenge. Can we get Hell Temple at a future marathon? Thank you, guys.
You should just run around in this skimpy swimsuit anyway.
It is summertime.
You gotta stay cool somehow.
Yeah, after I've defeated where the block in the ceiling that crumples away doesn't go until you've, left and come back. So that is the Isis pendant. That's the item I'll need to show to the Fairy Queen before I can go on with all those fairy shenanigans. So this is the Inferno Cavern. Lava is really, really deadly in this game, and I want to avoid jumping in it at all costs.
Luckily, it seems like the remake has less annoying fireballs that actually knock you into the middle of it.
So this is just basically a big block puzzle. If you have anything that you want to go ahead on for donations or plugs, now would be a really good time. So how's the weather?
By the way.
Yeah, Inferno Cavern is one of my favorites. It's one of the ones on the remake I like about as much as I like in the original.
The worst conversation you can have is arguments about which song is better for which.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's
They're all awesome.
yeah. It's just a great OST, yeah.
Bible?
We have another $35 from Murray Corey. To James Orbinski, Triage was an inspiration. Thank you for being my role model. And we have 5 from Story Nial. Donated because Jay is my favorite streamer, and I never would have seen my first SDA marathon if it hadn't been for him and Rom Scout. Best of luck to the runner. I'll let Jay decide what this goes towards.
What do we got coming up?
Link to the Past, any percent? We have Final Fantasy, we have Duke Nukem.
Ooh, Risk of Rain Bandit.
Risk of Rain Bandit, all right.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, if you can't donate, it still helps to spread the word about the marathon, Facebook, Twitter, any social media account you guys have. It all helps. Thank you guys so much.
Get it? Yeah. Yes. Nice. That's actually a really, really tight timing to not get hit by that fire. It doesn't barely save any time, but it's just one of those things you get it and you feel good about yourself.
Again, showcasing how awesome caltrops are. I'd have to climb down that ladder.
Like 0.1% more of my body gets a little bit more salty every time I see a caltrops drop.
This is Gionin, a fish. I have to kill it for some reason.
Gionin is also apparently supposed to be this game's mascot according to the original. Because of the amazing Snatcher dating sim minigame that unfortunately was removed from the remake.
Those red, that red rules that you're going to have to fuel the rules that area is
So you don't have to use the uncle from that area.
Yeah, you can basically use any Onctul anywhere. It's basically just a pick and choose.
One of the cool things that showcases right here is kind of the interconnectedness of puzzles in the ruins. So earlier I set the water to flood from the spring in the sky, and then I came down and then flooded this area, which you need to advance with these other puzzles. So there's a lot of really overarching stuff that happens during the course of the game.
If you had like one of those puzzle charts, it would probably look like the wall of like an FBI investigation case of which puzzle leads to what.
All these strings going everywhere.
Yeah.
We have $100 from Sturkenberg. I rooted for the original by J-Man, but being a good sport, all luck wishes to Hidden for his run. And a message for J-Man from Katie. Always cheering you on and I love you.
Well, shout out to my girlfriend. I love her. She was making a pretty like heavy push with all my friends during those last moments, and like especially like super shout outs to everyone that was donating. Like I was hanging out in Skype in the side room, everyone was like, "Oh my god, we gotta do this and that." You guys did a good job. I never expected we would raise about $5,000 for La-Mulana. I expected bid war to maybe reach 2K, and that was about it. So good job like blowing it out of the water. That was just an amazing bid war to watch. So you
Yeah,
guys are
big
all
time.
awesome.
My thanks go out to everybody who donated for either game.
Yeah,
Really
for
cool
sure.
to see that showing up.
Yeah.
stupidly overpowered.
Yet another thing that's not in the original, but we have flares, so.
Where's the mechanics so good?
Yeah. The flares aren't bad in this either, though. They have their purpose here and there. They have their purpose here and there.
I also did just get that HP refill exactly where I wanted to get it. Which
Oh,
is
right on,
pretty cool.
yeah.
So we've talked to the Fairy Queen, and she's agreed to help us.
Quotation marks.
Yeah, I'm going up here to do two things. One, I need to spawn a specific type of fairy, a key fairy. The drop rate is actually 1 in 20, but you usually get one pretty quickly because as soon as I know I'm not going to get the fairy I want, I can leave the screen and return for an easy retrial.
Yeah.
I can tell what type of fairy I'm going to get by the pattern of stars that are rotating on the screen. So the ones I'm looking for are 4 stars rotating in a counterclockwise direction. Now, after this, I'm going to be going and fighting Bahamut, who's going to be our first major boss of the game, or one of the Guardians. It's a really dangerous boss fight this early in the game for a number of reasons. One, he can very easily kill you. The second reason is that the Key Fairy only actually sticks around for 2 minutes once it is spawned, so that fight needs to go reasonably well and reasonably quickly
I remember
for everything going to go well there.
Practice run, it was like you got there and it just vanished right before the door you needed to open, so it's an incredibly tight window. You're also underestimating your luck with this because I'm watching right now. I have terrible luck.
Actually, on my world record run, I think I got both of the rare fairies on my first try.
Oh man. So the equivalent of this, if the original had one, there is an amazing lizard who I have named Biff Lizington that you have to get to walk into the light. He can take about like 5 minutes if he's just feeling kind of frosty that day.
We have $10 from Warner Rebecca. Hello, Tiger Lily 013 here. Cloud8745 and myself want to give a shout out to J-Man sitting by the La-Mulana Runner. Keep being awesome. We have $25 from Bujevich Nikita. We've been watching for a couple years. Great stream all around. Wish I could donate more.
You might have to load that safety save here soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a couple more tries, and if it doesn't fly, we are going from a safety save I prepared for such an eventuality.
But both of us prepared some safety saves after some important parts like this, just in case.
All right, we're giving this one more try, and that's it. Nope.
Nope.
All right. So I am going to go on and fight the boss here.
34 times.
That's incredible.
I would have been very annoyed if that
I would
had
have been
a
like
key fairy.
super, yeah. That would have been super upsetting. Yeah,
You
so
don't
what
have to
he's
worry.
basically going to do is he's going to fight the boss, and he has a save after the boss that has the door opened that the key fairy is meant to open. It's in the Chamber of Extinction, I think it's called in this version.
Yep, that's
yeah,
correct.
okay.
You guys don't have to worry about drop rates over on theyeti.com. If you guys want to buy a shirt over there to support SGDQ, $3 for every purchase will go to Doctors Without Borders. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, he's meant to be the fourth boss you fight, but in both runs he's the first boss you fight. Just like a weird coincidence.
So I'm jumping into his hitbox here because it resets my attack animation, and I get in an extra accent, which is really important.
Oh, he was being so nice too.
This is the attack I never want to see because I can't attack Bahamut while he's doing it.
Yeah, you just have to sit and take it when he does it, basically.
Those
That was
corn
still
pops.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, only one corn pops is good. Yeah, right on.
We have $20 from Ermaka Dennis. I died so many times while playing La-Mulana, and I may have broken one or two things out of pure La-Mulana-induced rage. Thank you for making me feel bad about my gaming skills by going through this game like it's a cakewalk. Although I'm sure you've all broken plenty of controllers to get this good. Thank you for doing this for such a great cause. P.S. The fairies. Cries in the corner.
They did their job well.
They
They got their
absolutely
paycheck.
did.
And by paycheck, I mean they're not getting paid at all. They're supposed to help you.
I guess that one was off at the spa or something. Yeah. So this door right here in the background is the one that the key fairy is supposed to unlock.
I think the solution is there's like a map somewhere in the game hidden on a tablet, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember seeing a map.
Maybe. I could be wrong.
If I could just have some silence here for a second. I just need an audio cue here, probably. Apparently not. But I screwed it up anyways. So when these demons swoop at you here, they make a particular sound. So you can potentially dodge that.
So now we're on the way to Elmac, which is the technically third boss, the second you'll fight in a speedrun. Pretty cool boss fight. Yeah, he's a bit more of a threat in this, but he still goes down pretty quickly. As long as you've got the axe, you're set for him in the remake. Oh yeah, no, you should definitely just hang out on the far left of the screen. Nothing bad will happen, I assure you. Yeah, no, he takes up like a huge portion.
Why don't you use that wave?
I just don't feel like it.
Yeah, no, it's... But that puzzle, there's a hint, is meditate under Udjat in the original. I think it's Wedjet in this one. The Eye of Wedjet. You just gotta sit around, hang out under the eye, and it gives you the Ankh Jewel. trying to explain what puzzles I do know off the top of my head, but there's so many and they go so fast that you really can't explain them all.
A big part of doing well at speedrunning this game is remembering everything.
It's very much it's like a giant laundry list of items you need, but you have to get them in that order.
If you guys are looking for incentives to pledge your money towards, we have Trials Fusion, Icebreaker plus Invisible Rider Challenge, and the Inferno 4 Ninja Challenge for Trials Fusion, as well as the 100% run for GoldenEye, which has almost been met, 3,600 out of 4,000, and the Watch Me Die
fight.
difficulty
Really
in
good
Doom
fight.
64.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
attack is totally random in the remake.
Yeah, Elmac will randomly use one of two attacks. One is a breath attack, and the other one is a charge attack where he just runs at you. The RNG that really matters in that fight, though, is the track luck, because if it's too low, then you won't be able to hit him, and it just drags the fight a little bit. So the keynote thing that we're heading towards right now is we're looking to get as many movement-based items as we can as early in the run as we possibly can, because they'll allow us to get around much, much quicker. So everything that I'm doing right now is working towards getting a double jump. Please move. Thank you.
We have 34 sympathy dollars from Caldwell Nathan saying, "That bad luck." This goes to Runner's Choice.
Have we met the donation for the music levels in Rayman?
Let me check that.
Has been met? Yeah. All right.
We have 100% run GoldenEye, Watch Me Die difficulty, Doom 64.
Let's do Bionic Commando 100%.
Okay.
Not horribly much to say about this area, but he's going to find the Serpent Staff right now, I believe it is. It'll allow you to kill this big blue guy on the surface, who I think is Argus in the remake and Algol in the original. And that'll let you get the double jump. So like you're saying, trying to get all the movement items as quickly as possible.
Shoutouts to Michael Jackson in the lower left-hand corner of the screen.
Woo!
The best part is, he's part of the whole.
Yeah, that's also true.
We have $50 from Alan Ken, donating $50 for the 50 hours it took me to beat this game. Fairies!
That's kind of low.
I don't know, I thought it was a very simple solution. You didn't think you'd get away without at least one of them.
So here I have to talk to Mulbrook, who is a 3,014-year-old girl, that has been frozen in carbonite or something.
Age has just been kind to her. Yeah.
I love how she just collapsed.
She has narcolepsy.
Very much so. Totally new character to the remake. They planned to have her in the original, if I'm not mistaken, and it just ended up not working out that way. So they kind of put her in, and she's actually a pretty big element to the remake.
Yeah, the reason why we go and visit her here is because we need the Book of the Dead in order to defeat Anubis, who's this boss coming up right here. This used to be a much more exciting fight, but you can actually bait out Anubis's magic attack, and while he's channeling it, he doesn't move. So that's the thing.
Yeah, Anubis is one of the cooler mini-bosses they added if you actually don't quick kill him, but the same can be said of both versions. Everything dies really fast, and is really cool if you don't kill it super fast.
Oop. I made the PC shop lady mad. Run.
If you make her mad in the original, it's pretty special what she says to you. I'll try and see if I can't run the original during bonus streams so you can see all the awesome differences. But
We have $15 from Oulette Jake. First time watching SGDQ live. Love what you guys do and what you're doing for. Keep up the good work. Can I get a round of applause for not only the runners, but especially for all the hard workers off camera?
So the reason why Argus dies so fast there is because I use caltrops on him. Argus is one of the few sub-bosses in the game that does not have invincibility frames. And whenever you use a caltrop, it throws about 4 of them, so they're really effective.
This is close enough to the original winning right here.
So this is the Gate of Time. This is what we unlocked with the Key Fairy. It's a pretty cool area. All of the tablets have little secret messages from the developers, and it's just sort of a whole lot of fun. However, there is a really cool secret right over here.
I actually didn't know about this until he showed me it a couple days ago, I think it was.
You did not know about it?
No, I didn't know about that. Like, I had only played the WiiWare version in Japanese, and like, that's just like a huge shortcut I never knew about, so. This game, still like learning new things about it even years later. Like.
So this takes us to the Tower of the Goddess, and this is a place that we're not supposed to be able to get until we've defeated the 5th Guardian of the game, V. And there are some very big advantages to coming here early.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good items and stuff you can get from this area.
And it sort of works in the same vein as getting the axe early. The earlier we can get some really powerful items, the more we can abuse them to our benefit in the speedrun.
The more we can basically destroy bosses. Yeah, bosses and maneuverability are the things you save the most time on by sort of sequence breaking where items are.
So what I'm going to be doing here is the first glitch of the run. I'm going to be using the grapple claw to clip into this pot. A little tricky timing. You need to grapple onto the wall at the same point that you touch with the pot here.
Yeah, it's basically very, I'd say it's what, maybe like a frame or two you can get that on?
And I believe they removed that pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was our solution to fixing that. Wasn't correcting the code, it was just remove those pots.
So normally what happens when you clip through a wall like that, the game will actually kick you out to the surface. It doesn't reset any of your progress, it just sends you to the beginning of the game. Fortunately for us, this is an intended screen transition. So that allows us to come in here and solve this weight puzzle. And that'll allow us to get the most powerful weapon in the game, which is the flail whip.
Doesn't the Keyblade actually technically get more powerful later, but it just has a slower swing speed?
The Keyblade does exactly the same amount of damage.
Okay, same amount. All right.
But
Cool.
yeah, it's pretty good. I still continue to use the flail whip because it has the sort of overhead.
It has the overarching, yeah, and it's also just a faster swing speed in general.
We have $50 from Evett Christopher. I'm always happy when a GDQ comes around. Thanks to the runners and the organizers for continuing to put these events together. Enjoying the La-Mulana run. It's a game that seems impenetrable to me, but those can be the most entertaining to watch others break apart. Good show.
All right, so I'm going to be fighting another Guardian here. This is Saki. All I want Saki to do is throw punches. So he's already off to a bad start. That's not too bad, though.
And the only like one of the 2 bosses that gets the second phase in this version dies faster than he does in the original. So there's that. One of the few bosses that's actually faster.
Definitely in part. You may have noticed it when I purchased it, but if you didn't, I'll let you in on a little secret. I have a pistol now.
Oh yeah. And the pistol is an item they moved from very, very late game in the original to super early on. It does massive damage, and it's a lot more exploitable in Remake.
So I'm going to try to explain the puzzle that I'm doing right now. Currently, I'm trying to flood the Tower of the Goddess, which is that secret back area that I went into. And I'm trying to flood it with water because that's what powers all of the machines that are in there. So there's a tablet in the game that reads where the finger points and Anunnaki refuses to gaze. And those are your clues basically to find your way into these areas and break these seals. So it's kind of a little bit of a taste of
the true La-Mulana. And the way we solved that when the game first came out in Japanese is we had someone translate the Anunnaki part and pointing. And I was like, oh, he's that dolphin guy. You go to Google, look it up. And he's originally in the Twin Labyrinths. So I go there. He's not there. So you go to the Tower of the Goddess. And it's just, yeah. They do everything they can to mess with the player. And it's a very solid experience. And story-wise, do you have anything to explain?
not at this point.
Yeah,
Speaking of messing with the player, though,
Yeah.
ice physics. Gotta love them.
Oh God, they're so bad in both versions. But the Tower of the Goddess itself, I think, is supposed to act as this sort of rocket to send this extraterrestrial being known as the Mother back to space, but they couldn't get it working right, and all these sort of civilizations and things originated from these ruins. And the whole game boils down to a giant matricide simulator. You just go murder the mother of all civilization. No big deal about it.
We have $5 from Jackson James. I was going to wait till I got my first paycheck for my new job. However, after the amazing transition into that Yeti promotion, it deserves a tip. Current announcer, please put this donation towards whatever your heart desires, like how my heart desires a brand new brand name Yeti t-shirt. I'll put it towards Dishonored Extra Missions.
So currently he's grabbing the Fruit of Eden, which is a new-ish thing. It's going to allow him to activate the Confusion Gate later, because it's just a whole illusion in this one. Just a little extra puzzle.
So you'll notice that I've waited on that ladder a little bit right there. I really want to avoid taking damage while I'm going through this segment of the game, because coming up I'm going to be fighting an extraordinarily dangerous mini-boss by the name of Kamaitachi. Kamaitachi does a lot of damage, and even being at full health right here could easily kill me in about 3 hits. So I really need to keep a grip on where my health is right now.
We have $25 from Richard Merkel. We're so proud of everyone involved there, especially our grandson, Cole Matty. Keep up the great work, Grandma and Grandpa. And we have $50 from Andrews Urkimo. Hidden Distance can choose what this goes to if he gives us his thoughts on the La-Mulana sequel in development. Maybe in a moment. I wanted to know what you thought about the La-Mulana sequel.
What I think of the La-Mulana sequel?
Yeah, just your opinions.
Awesome.
Okay.
No, I definitely, we definitely approve. I backed it for some absurd amount of money so I could have a physical copy of it.
And speaking of which, if you like the look of the remake and you've either played the original or the remake and that sort of thing, on the note of the sequel, Nigoro recently kickstarted that sequel. On Kickstarter, it succeeded. They raised close to $300,000. They are still currently taking donations off of the Plays and Game page that's dedicated to that, so if you want to get in on those sweet, sweet backer rewards, now's the time.
Definitely still time, and it's definitely worth backing. There's a demo you can play as well, and I believe they showed off a more recent build of it with some of the new features implemented. I haven't seen it yet, but Hidden Distance was explaining to me the other day about it. It's awesome. It's more of what you like from this game, for sure.
Yeah.
This one is a 15% chance to spawn. So what I want to get here is an item fairy. It's 4 stars, 2 going clockwise, 2 going counterclockwise. Now what item fairies do is they multiply drops of basically every kind. So soul stones you'll get more of, money from pots and chests you'll get more of, the item drops like shurikens or flares that...
Dude, the amount of key fairies you've gotten is making even me upset right now.
Well, we just got a flood of donations. Could I fire through a couple of those real quick?
Yep, donation reading is good here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
We got $10 from Koopa. The SGDQ event has been a lifesaver this week since summer school just started. Been leaving the stream on when I study, and when the teachers aren't looking, I watch the SGDQ. Just wanted to say you're doing something great, and hopefully my grades won't tank. Also, Dasabro, I did it. I got a parking ticket in Davis in your honor. Donation goes whichever game you want. We'll go to Dishonored again. We have $15 from Craig Solo. Shoutouts to Statue of Mike and the many who have relied on our remake wiki contributions over the years. Donation goes to J-Man's choice if he does the Dance of Life. I don't know what that is, J-Man.
So I'm doing the Dance of Life later. Okay, I can. I'll try and make that work somehow.
So I just used the item fairy right there to duplicate chakrams. Normally when you throw out a chakram and you catch it, it'll just count as the one that you threw out. However, if it hits another wall, it will drop. And because it counts as a drop in the game's code, you get 3 of them back instead of just the one that you threw out.
I love that new intro to the Confusion Gate. Like, yeah, the Confusion Gate is actually one of the areas I like a lot more in the remake than I did in the original. This very, very surreal, very creepy area. And it serves its purpose as a polar opposite of the first area, the Guidance Gate, whereas that teaches you to kind of play the game. This area very much plays with that idea and just has a load of weird puzzles that are very just strange, and yeah, it's one of my favorite areas.
Yeah, so if you're confused about what's going on in this area, you're not the only one.
Don't worry, so are we. Even to this day, there's a reason it's called the Confusion Gate.
Yeah, this is a really big skip right here. You'll notice that water is traveling, the current is going upward. So normally when you jump in there, the current just carries you back to the top and you can't go down. You have to go through this whole quest section. But I managed to skip all of that with caltrops.
And I wish we had caltrops, because the way you skip that in the original is relying on the little hopping enemies to boost into a corner. They're RNG, and it's about a 1 to 2 frame trick to get inside the corner, and yeah, caltrops.
So, as I'm sure you've noticed, with all those chests that I picked up a couple of minutes ago, I am now on the order of Scrooge McDuck rich. So I'm going to go spend some of this cash.
I did not even realize you had like 900 coins right now.
The items I'm buying here are more caltrops, obviously, and the bracelet, which is going to make it so that I can smash pots and other kinds of items with one hit.
The bracelet in the original, I think, is... I don't know if you buy it there or if it's hidden in a different area. You have to like wait on another random waiting puzzle for Mudmen to walk over a switch.
So we have a mini boss coming up here named Periton.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to fight him.
Because the triggers, they sort of misplaced them somewhere by accident. They might have like dropped them on the way to the room. I don't know what happens to them, but mini boss, whatever. Didn't need it.
We have $50 from Jordan Hill. TLOZSR here. Donate for Blame TR for Skyward Sword file name. And $40 from Costi Brandon. Must have more missiles. Good luck, Hidden Distance.
Thank you.
So that plane is part of a puzzle to fight a boss later. The other key ingredient to that is it's called the Pochette key in the original. I'm not sure what it's called in this one.
Yeah, it's still the Pochette key.
It's still the Pochette key? Okay. But yeah, you basically take those 2 items. One opens the boss, and the other lets you fly around in a plane and fight an alien. Because why not?
We have $50 from Alexander Stockholm. Enjoying the event as always. Great games being run for a great cause. As always, shout out to the 502 crew. Here's to saving the animals, because who wants to go against canon and risk a time paradox?
So the dreaded mini-boss that he was talking about earlier is coming up probably in less than a minute or so. Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to call serious time on that one.
Now, the real thing with Kamitachi is that it's both an incredibly mean boss and kind in a couple of different ways. So mean because where it arrives on the screen is completely random. So that's fun. And it also does a whole bunch of damage. However, you can get away with doing a very quick kill on it because it is one of those few sub-bosses that does not have invulnerability frames. So the early flail whip is going to help quite a lot here in killing that quickly. Though if you're playing one of the versions of the game where you don't have access to the flail whip because the grapple clip doesn't work anymore, caltrops are an option. That's a really good spawn.
Nice. Right on. Yeah, if he would have gotten hit, he would be down about a third of his health bar right about now.
So killing Kamaitachi gives us access to the bombs, and the bombs are quintessential in solving a puzzle to get access to a shop in which I get the most broken item in the game.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll explain the puzzle to get into that when we get there, because it's kind of an amusing little nod to both versions of the game.
We have $50 from Gary Weasel. Excellent job to the runners so far. This money goes to the any % glitched incentive for Super Metroid. If you don't know what that is, I recommend that you donate to watch Super Metroid beat in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah, so this puzzle in the original, the tablet read, I believe something that it's like, this is an unsolvable puzzle. And the tablet in this one reads, the original architect of this was a fool and made this puzzle unsolvable. Originally, you would just jump up to the shop and buy the Lamp of Time. If you try that in this one, you will be struck down by lightning of death pain. So you have to solve the puzzle. Yeah, there's an invisible wall there too, so even if you do manage to damage boost your way up there, there's still a trigger that you have to deactivate.
So the item that I'm using, or the sub-weapon that I'm using right here to block that fireball, is called the Buckler. I did pick it up quite a bit earlier, and you may have seen me using it. I'm not sure. But the Buckler is one of those items that seems really useless when you first start playing around with it, because after it blocks a couple of energy-based shots, it breaks. Interesting thing though, if you unequip it and then re-equip it, the stamina, I guess, of the Buckler regenerates. So as long as you don't take too many shots on the shield, you're going to be able to hang on to it.
We have $100 from Aaron Paolini with no comment, and $100 from Henry Bieberman. I've been watching these marathons for years, and it's great to see La-Mulana and Hidden Distance getting the attention they deserve. Keep up the awesome guys. That probably was supposed to keep up the awesome guys. Makes a little more sense.
So I just used the Lamp of Time, which, as you can see, stops time. We're going to use that to abuse a lot of different things in the game. Some of them, like that mini-boss, are just really annoying to fight, and it will take us less time to get a charge for the Lamp of Time than it will be to actually fight that boss. There's also a number of other uses that we have for the Lamp of Time, but I'll talk about them a little bit later when we run into them.
So the thing he just did there was, earlier on he got the mini doll. And that puzzle is, you went back to the Mausoleum of Giants.
Oh wait, one thing here. After I kill this boss, this chest is going to open up and give me an item that I need to continue with the game. Now I'm warping out of here to save time because this is a speedrun, but there's a really cool cutscene that happens with all of those ghosts down there, so if this is your first time playing the game, make sure you stick around to watch it play out.
It's pretty rad.
Just stay right where the cutscene. Don't move.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I was on about the mini doll. Basically, it lets him go through that thing. You get a doll, you prove that you're small by holding it up next to the giants in the mausoleum, and it basically allows that, or it removes that barrier to fight Shu. The classic version, you don't have to stop the sacrificial maidens, and you don't have to do anything. You just drop into the pit and throw spears down at him, he'll die. So there's that extra step kind of removed.
We have $50 from Chris Frank. Really enjoying my first SGDQ. Keep up the good work, and thank you to everyone who's making it happen.
That was the second La-Mulana tablet. You may have noticed I'm reading one earlier. This puzzle is kind of obnoxious. You have to kill a few of those things while time is stopped to reveal this switch, which removes a barrier later to get the medicine, which you need to fight the final. Oh my god, that was so close.
Yeah, the invisible fish are not my friends. They are on...
They're no one's friends. It doesn't matter which version.
Let's just say they're on my list.
Anything that flies, like, if it has wings, it's instantly 10 times worse than anything else in the game, is the general consensus with this game.
Okay, so coming up here is going to be the first major glitch in which I'm going to be using the Lamp of Time. So, to explain it one way, there are some objects in this game where you will interact with a dais, and then, you know, a wall or a floor or some other object will disappear, giving you access to an area or any of those sorts of things. Now, when you use the Lamp of Time off-screen from one of these two-state objects, and then enter the screen in which that object is there, the flag for that object existing does not seem to be activated, which means that you can just walk through it.
This makes me incredibly angry, by the way, and if anyone's seen the original speedrun, that guy is completely manipulable in this version. In the original, he is complete RNG, and he'll just dance around the screen, waste your time, spend maybe like 5 minutes. You can go out, get a food, get a drink, come back. He'll still be there, don't worry about it.
Well, you want to walk in front of the light.
Yeah.
I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, no, I mean, he just wants to live. I understand that, but we got a game to play.
Yeah, I'll talk about that after Amphispina
we
here.
totally skipped over that by accident so far.
I haven't actually used any of the software combos yet.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm on my way right now to fight the first guardian of the game, Amphispina. Now, if you go and fight Amphispina with the kind of equipment that you have while you're normally going through the Gate of Guidance, it will be, you know, a fairly challenging boss, and reasonably so as well. I do not have the starting gear, however, and this fight is going to go very different.
Either having the axe or the mace whip, it's just going to be... It's a very sad time for Amphispina.
Yes, nicknames have been the hardest boss in the game, or hit point refill Espina. This guy sees a lot of disrespect.
We have received a $502 donation from Wei Jietang. Have to support my bro Leon P's Link's Awakening speedrun after he almost couldn't make it to the event. Thank you,
Was that
Wei
like
Jietang.
4 hits?
So the reason why we kill Amphispina at this point in time in the run is that after you've killed 4 of the guardians in the game, of which there are 8, the PC shop starts selling an upgrade to the laptop. So the laptop is a reasonably important item in the run, or at least the upgrade is. So you normally have about 1,000 megabytes of RAM to load programs into memory, and these programs do various things like allow you to look at maps or teleport to backfields, lots of different things like that. There's also software combinations that you can use, which Blue Glass was alluding to, of which some are required and others are just really, really useful. So what I'm doing now is getting the upgrade, which will allow me to equip twice as many pieces of software. And that's really handy because it's going to mean that I don't have to switch between different software combinations during the run. And that's probably going to save somewhere on the order of about 30 seconds throughout the entire run.
Yeah. The original, you could only equip like 2 or 1 combination at a time. And that whole thing was like MSX's whole deal with that, but yeah. The softwares in this game are based all upon Nigoro's actual other releases, like Mikuri, I don't remember all. I know Death Village is one of them.
Lonely House Moving.
Yeah.
Even La-Mulana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's even the La-Mulana original, which is kind of like this sort of meta joke going on with that there, but
The Curry Master, my favorite Nigoro Flash game.
the Curry Master is too strong.
So this is the third and final type of fairy you're going to see me spawn in this run. This is a healing fairy, and as the name might imply, it does my taxes.
We have a $35 donation from Bo Brown. Yo, Ultraman, you were my original inspiration for starting to Let's Play games, and it pretty much changed my life. Shout out to the rest of the MC chat inhabitants. We're all watching from the shadows. And we have 20 relevant dollars from Jason Felds, who says, salutations, sorry about the fairy luck. As compensation, here's some money. Both of you get to split this up for your choices, $10 apiece.
Alright.
Also, one of the
Yeah.
Yeah, the combination of Death Village and Lonely House Moving is the combo that's going to extend those invulnerability frames.
Yeah. Thanks to the donation for that, by the way. I'm glad that I could help inspire some people. I hate this new area. Like, I just don't like what they did to this area. Like, it's just traps and spikes and like,
Everything that a growing La-Mulanese boy needs.
They changed this area, but it's one of the areas I feel like they changed for the worse.
in the original, it was a whole bunch of blocks.
It was block puzzles, but they were like really intricate block puzzles. Here it's just things that kill you a lot.
So this is Blackbeard. Basically, the AI pattern for this sub-boss is like a Boo from Super Mario Brothers. It will follow you when you are looking the other way, and then it will not when you're looking directly at it. Yeah, we can't hurt that boss or Tai Sui, which is this blob of eyeballs or something.
That's Mr. Blob of Eyeballs, as he prefers to be called by.
We have $40 from Carlos Leon. I love La-Mulana, and I'm so happy to see it on SGDQ. Keep up the good work, guys. Special shout out to my best homie Alberto, who will be getting married this Friday. Congrats, dude. Carlos.
So after I've made this trick back and forth here, Blackbeard will actually be vulnerable.
Yeah, that's actually kind of newish. Originally, you were supposed to kill him in the same room you killed the lobby eyeballs, and that's just a very slight variation on the original puzzle.
And that'll be the only boss in the game that actually dies off screen. Maximum disrespect.
He took too much time. He doesn't deserve it.
Nah.
Tai Sui is a bit of a weird boss. It only actually takes damage from, or significant damage, I should say, from a couple of different weapons. Thankfully, one of those is the knife, which has a very, very fast attack speed.
We have $35 from Tyler Weed. Hey guys, it's super awesome to see tons of cool people speedrunning great games for a great cause. Keep up the great work. And we have $40 from Catherine Maloney. Way to go, Hidden Distance. Don't forget about your sweet deking moves. I don't know what that means.
So here is the Shrine of the Mother, where pretty much everything in the game goes down. Basically, it's the whole center of the ordeal itself, but later on in the game, this place will be completely different after you basically seal the Mother's soul into here. And that's the whole point of going around and trying to kill these 8 guardians, is so you can drive a wedge through everything and chant these mantras to seal the soul. It's a very, very long, complex puzzle, is the entire game, basically.
So one of the items that I grabbed while I was going through the Endless Corridor was the twin statue. And that's going to be one of the items that's going to help us solve the riddles of the twin labyrinths and actually get it to make a little bit more sense.
Just slightly.
In order to do that, though, I have to go through this area that has poison gas in it. And if I don't complete the puzzle within the next 23 seconds, I will die.
Doesn't it throw you back outside? No, it actually kills you in this one. Okay, right on. I think in the original it threw you back outside, but that's good to know they changed that. Luckily, they're pretty generous with the amount of time they give you.
So now all of the screen transitions in here will make a lot more sense. You'll actually go to the different rooms that are indicated by the map. Shoutouts to Caltrops.
Just rub more salt in the wounds.
This item is the ring. It's going to make all of my sub-items a lot more powerful and more speedy.
Yeah, I think you can throw more of them at a time.
I can't throw more of them at a time.
Okay, so they changed that. All right.
But yeah, they travel much more quickly.
Right. Okay, cool.
So one of the gimmicks that happens in the Twin Labyrinths is whenever you deal with a puzzle that's on one side, it'll usually wind up affecting something that's on the other side of the labyrinths. So I interacted with that dais in that room, and the mirror image to this, which is actually below this room, it solved a puzzle down there. But yeah, all of the maps in the game are puzzle items, but the map for the Shrine of the Mother is the only required map or required puzzle item.
Yeah.
That is also.
That was a huge trip up the first time I played this, or because I tried doing after I beat it, I tried doing a walkthrough to help people, and it's I didn't know I needed that map, and it was just it's such a weird trigger.
So more Lamp of Time abuse coming up. This next room hosts a sub-boss named Zoo. And
no,
because
it doesn't. What are you talking about? You're lying.
Because I go into that room with the Lamp of Time activated, the doors that lock you in the room with the sub-boss don't actually ever close. You can just walk out.
For some reason, the Twin Labyrinths triggers for the mini-bosses, they just left them at home that day or something. Zoo is another one of the really hard mini-bosses in the remake. I died a lot until I figured out you could technically time stop it, and then I found out you can just skip it, so there's that.
So speaking of bosses, we're about to fight Baphomet here, which is one of the later Guardians in the game. Baphomet has a 100% predictable pattern for his first phase. Yeah. And the second phase is 100% random. So hopefully we wind up with something good here.
Yeah, the second phase is a wholly new thing to the remake. The original, he just threw 4 grenades into his face, and he went, why? And then died.
Gonna be spending my other 4 pistol rounds here in this fight. Shoutouts to Trey Sandor.
We have $36 from Joseph Johnson. Y'all are doing some great work. Makes me proud to be a gamer. And $50 from Michael Damon. I'm going to dedicate this to the awesomely polar opposite hairstyles between the two runners. If there were some good heavy metal refs in La-Mulana, I would ask you to both headbang to it, but nah. You guys are doing great.
That was actually a pretty rough pattern. Post-boss deaths are totally awesome in this. This is just the most metal thing ever going on right now. Needs to be on an album cover or something.
And yes, you can die to those plants.
Oh yeah, you definitely can.
If you are playing La-Mulana, do not ever think that you are safe.
No, especially in the remake. The original is actually somehow just very slightly safer, but still not too safe.
We have $10 from Kevin Gweither. Shoutouts to all the Davids currently in the streaming room. Doing our best, Kevin.
So I'm going to be going directly into another boss fight here, but I do need to do a little bit of setup to get in there, including using the Lamp of Time glitch to walk through this wall. So that is a solid object.
Walls are just suggestions. Don't worry about it.
Funny enough, that dais I just interacted with there is the trigger to open that wall up.
We have
for not having to solve a puzzle there.
We have $10 from Rian Heel. This is my first SGDQ, and it is really awesome. I don't know if it's just me, but the more you say La-Mulana, it is starting to sound like Llama Llama. Anyway, great commentary, and cheers from Canada.
Llama Llama.
Hashtag Llama Llama.
Get hyped for the sequel.
So this area right here is why the ice cape, which prevents damage from lava, is absolutely a required item. I need to get down to the bottom of that to interact with the dais to make V, who is the guardian, excuse me, that I'm going to fight right now. That's what's going to make his Zonk appear.
Yeah, in the original, this guy is the trigger for the Tower of the Goddess in basically the second half of the game. So you actually get to fight him way later and have a lot more tools.
Yeah, this is the boss that I would have to fight in order to have the flail whip, which I am using to murder him.
Yeah. Oh, really close. Was that like one hit away or so?
Yeah, I didn't get the one cycle, so I'm going to do something extraordinarily dangerous.
Yes. The real quick kill. The man's way.
How low was your health when you died?
I did not see it.
I think you're only
I think it was still pretty
106
high.
or so. You're still pretty high on health. Yeah. 102. I was pretty close.
Your health ridiculously fast.
Oh yeah, it does.
You die very fast from standing on
And
top
they
of
did that to prevent the original quick kill, which you did sit inside his hitbox and just flared him to death. That was also incredibly dangerous because you had to do essentially the same thing.
Health drain happens when you're getting damage.
Yeah. Yeah. The health drain, they sort of, even from the WiiWare version of this game, they buffed the health drain and they gave it to Palenque as well. So you used to be able to sit inside his hitbox in that version and just annihilate him that way.
So this is why I need the map. I need to look at it here in order to make the statue appear so that I can put the dragon head on top of it. And that gets rid of a bunch of barriers inside the inside the Shrine of the Mother.
This isn't convoluted in the slightest.
I'm not going here.
We have $10 from
I'm not the one that does that.
Zach Kessler. Reminder to support your speed friends. I want to give them the best chance at survival. Laz and Studio 4 for life.
Well, if you walk across, that's great.
Yeah. There's a lot of broken floors and hidden things and stuff that we basically just jump over by memory and never think to explain them. So.
Some of the time I'm hopping around because who doesn't like hitting the jump button? And other times I'm hopping around because there's absolutely a legitimate reason for it.
And if I'm hopping around, it's because you move faster in the original by hopping around. So there's just a lot of jumping. La Mesa has probably the most well-toned legs, and that's essentially why he probably wants to wear the skimpy swimsuit.
So that guy in the background I'm harassing right now is Beelzebub. He's the final sub-boss in the game, and it is entirely my goal throughout this run to annoy him as much as I possibly can.
That's good. If you need to annoy him because I can't.
I do have to backtrack through this area a couple of times here for some plot triggers and some puzzle items.
Yeah. I just noticed the impaled bodies in the background. Oh, hey, Super Zelpud. So originally, this was in an April Fool's trailer of the game, Zelpud holding up the pillar. And for the longest time, my friends were like, they're not going to throw it in the main game. Lo and behold, we're sitting there trying to get the diary, and there you go, Super Zelpud.
I used a variant of the grapple clip there to get through that moving elevator. It's actually really easy to perform. You just have to grapple onto the wall, and then the moving elevator will just...
It sort of pulls you through it.
Yeah, it kind of sandwiches into Lameza's hitbox, and then the game's like, where do I put him?
Yeah.
It throws you out on top, which is really convenient.
That's pretty cool.
Now would be a good time for more plugs and donations as well.
We have $10 from Daniel Stoikov. Shoutouts to J-Man, the reason I'm even remotely into speedrunning or the GDQs to begin with. Jay's choice where this goes.
That was $10.
Yes.
Has Bionic Commando 100% been hit yet?
I'm looking into that. The Bionic 100% has not been met yet, so we'll put it there.
Throw it towards that, yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to be using the grenades to do a little bit of a damage boost here. So when you fall through that glass pane, Lameza loses any ability for me to manipulate his jump movement. So rather than fall all the way down to the bottom of that area, I use a grenade to throw against the wall and damage me off in the other direction. So that'll save me from having to climb back up, which would waste a whole lot of time.
So this area has a vaguely similar layout to the original, but almost is a wholly different, more puzzle-based area than it was in the original. You actually have to use a lot of your inventory items and read a lot of hints, and it's really cool. I like what they did with the Chamber of Earth in this version. Plus, who doesn't love Song of Curry? Either version is just so fun.
One thing you'll note, all of these elephant statues that you see in this area are considered sacred by the game.
Touch. Just do not touch.
So you need to be very, very careful about what you're attacking and how you're attacking while you're in this area, or you are in for a world of hurt.
Yeah. And that very much wasn't a thing in the original. You could just defile elephants left and right. Like, if you didn't like elephants, you're very free to do that. I just can't stop thinking about Naramura's video they did for the curry party.
It's pretty epic.
Shout outs to the Kickstarter only curry party video.
Did they play that in this video?
Yes, they did. It was at least 8 kinds of interesting.
This is one of the few legitimate uses for the Lamp of Time in this game. You have to destroy all of these pots at the same time for the puzzle.
Yeah. If you don't destroy them all at the same time, you basically have to reset and try again. The exact same puzzle is also in the original.
We have $25 from Francis Colomb. Doing a great job, guys. Doing it. Getting it done. $20 from Peter Landwehr. Hey, Dacid and crew. I spent an hour screwing up the library stairs the other day. You're not alone. Donation to host choice. Gravity Penguin. Thank you for rubbing salt in the wound. The internet never forgets. I will also put it towards Bionic Commando 100%.
So this is where I'm getting all of the lamp charges. I don't think I mentioned that earlier.
Oh yeah, it's the closest one to a save point, so it's the easiest one to hit up.
So after I finished all of those puzzles in the Gate of Illusion, that gives me access to this Cog of the Soul, which is pretty instrumental in getting this area really going.
Yeah, it basically brings this area to life in essence. It's a pretty cool little thing. Oh, right. I was gonna donate like $5 to let Mudman run around for like a few minutes, or not a few minutes, but like 30 seconds or something. Because he has the greatest animations of all time.
Secret
I don't
shop
have a
is
5,
secret.
whatever. 20's fine.
I'll do that for 20.
Yeah. Where do I turn this into?
I'll take it.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, man. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, he's already off, so.
We have $50 from James Connolly. Hey guys, great to see another Games Done Quick. Donating this to a great cause and a great game. Good luck on the rest of the run and not crashing on Mother, Hidden. Rainian.
Yeah, Mother crash. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man.
Please do not mention.
We accidentally just jinxed it. Oh, right. I was supposed to see the Dance of Life here coming up, so.
Wait, why do you come out of scanning that?
That's a good point, actually. With the reroute we've done here with the grapple clip, I don't need to scan that anymore, I don't think. I'm going to be doing another grapple clip right here to get stuck into this pod.
This one's pretty cool. This is like an actual legit wall zip.
And Lamezo kind of freaks out a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so this is Skanda.
Animations. We gotta watch his amazing animation.
So this is what J-Man donated for.
He moves so amazingly.
He better do the follow.
I hope he does. I think you have to whip him to do that.
No, he doesn't do that. Pretty good.
Okay.
Fair enough, yeah. The falling over animation is great, but yeah. He just looks confused to be alive. Like, that's just what's so great about him. He's like, what am I doing here? Why do I live?
Okay, I'm gonna ask for an absence of spoilers on this next item and things related to it for a bit. Exactly.
We have $50
Should
from.
I try to explain?
I got this one.
Okay. You got it.
We have $50 from Dale Petrichko. You guys rock. Gotta work early, but I can't stop watching. This one's runner's choice.
So I just picked up a wooden statue of a woman. It's a statue nonetheless.
Yeah.
It's
the statue
going to
is
wind
not
up
the-
being,
yeah.
it's going to wind up becoming a very important puzzle piece in just a little bit here. So more or less all of this area is doing a lot of puzzles that relate to setup for the next Guardian. I'm going to be fighting Palanque. And Palanque, like a lot of the things that you'll find in this game, is styled after actual mythological or archaeological findings.
Yeah.
So in the city of Palanque, the Mayan city of Palanque, there is a mural that is, I guess it's commonly referred to as the Mayan astronaut.
Yeah, the Mayan or Palanque astronaut, basically.
And Palanque, the Guardian game, is directly based off of that mural. The game is actually filled with all kinds of different real, I guess you could call them, mythological creatures. The favorite of mine being the Bonacon, which, if you haven't heard of it, you should go to Wikipedia right now and look it up. The Bonacon is some sort of mule or horse that literally poops acid. So,
Yeah.
when I saw it for the first time in this game, I just dismissed it as random, weird video game monster.
Just sort
No,
of turbo turds all over your face, but it's mythological. Don't worry about it.
hundreds of years old and all sorts of medieval iconography.
Ah, man. Turbo turds, yeah. I'm trying to keep it a little bit PG.
We have $15 from Rachel Ward. Poison here. Keep up the good work. Everyone, also, hi to you too, J-Man. We have $5 from James Rodriguez. J-Man knows me. Couldn't think of anything else to say.
Hi, Poison.
And we have $50 from William Johnson. This is my first time watching a GDQ, but it won't be the last. Keep up the great work.
So this is Palanque. This boss fight is basically a big bullet storm, and I just have to kill him before he kills me. I really don't want to wind up inside his hitbox.
Oh, no, you
because
don't.
I will die.
He does massive damage. Good pattern. Very good pattern.
Yeah, that was an exceptionally good pattern.
So, yeah. The best part of trying to figure that out is if you still hit him and he doesn't fall back into his ship, he'll still kill you. So you have to hit him specifically back into his ship. That was a good fight.
Yeah, really good pattern. There's an attack that he uses where he just charges directly at you.
And you don't want to see that.
Yeah,
It wastes time, and if you get stuck in his hitbox, your health bar is very sad after.
Yeah, it's a very bad thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached $165,000 for SGDQ 2014. Keep it up, guys. We're going places.
All right, well, to celebrate on that note, I want everybody to, if they can, dim the lights just a little bit. You know, if you got a honey there, grab them and hold them close. Put on them business socks, because it's about to get sexy in here.
I don't think the lights dim here. I'm sorry. But
Woman statue become
Pregnant.
You have the maternity statue. So, do you want to explain or do I want to explain?
I need an explanation.
Why don't you explain?
So, basically, that statue is the pyramid of the sun is the man, the pyramid of the moon is the woman. You go to the pyramid of the sun and all those little rainbow things floating around, or, you know, sperm, basically. You impregnate the maternity statue. You go into the woman, you basically sleep in what is the equivalent of her womb. It has the architecture of it, and you birth an ocarina. Because puzzles in La-Mulana. Don't worry about it. And that was the birds and the bees for any like small individuals watching right now. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, all that malarkey you've heard about, you know, storks or zygotes or gametes, you know, forget everything that you've ever read from a biology book. That's how it actually happens. Yeah, I'm gonna try and skip having to ride this elevator here. My walking back and forward there was a very specific timing.
Right on. Barely nailed it.
Yeah, it's a very tight jump.
It's one of those jumps that's impressive to people that have played it, but everyone else is just like, really?
So as long as we're celebrating, I've just been informed I'm behind the times. We're actually at 181,000, which is a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, as Blue Blast was saying, the ocarina allows us to talk to the 4 sages, and we need to talk to 3 of them in order to have some different puzzle pieces pop up. Yeah, the 4th philosopher is what actually allows you to access the flail whip, but I already have that, so I don't really need to do that anymore. I will need to go back into that room a little bit later, but I'm just gonna glitch into it again.
Those horses are the Bonacon we were talking about earlier, by the way.
We have $50 from Nathan Jackson. Hey Dasabro, wanted to donate now because I didn't have a chance to donate last night. I love the singing for I'm the Wind. I'm so sad you didn't repeat it for the second finish. I'd donate $150 if we could get a reprise. Anyway, you can pick where this goes. I'll have to spare you for the moment, but another time for sure. I'll put it towards 100% Bionic Commando.
Yeah, it was. The final one was in that room.
Yeah, so I've now translated all of those Rosetta Stone style tablets and got the last of the 4 seals, which are essentially glorified keys. This next area is going to get
scary.
Yeah, it's going to get really scary for me very fast because all of the sub bosses in here, of which this is a giant boss rush, are going to do a lot of damage to me.
Yeah, they really beefed this area up from the original. Everything here is absolutely deadly, and this is very much the final area you would want to do.
So this is the first sub-boss fight, and it's actually kind of a joke.
Yeah. That one hasn't changed much.
This one, Ugalu the Lion, could easily kill me if I screw up this fight. But he's kind of behaving. I'll just take that. Okay.
Not bad.
Only taking 1 hit there is really going to be very, very good going forward.
Yeah.
So this is the area where I'm going to be fighting the last Guardian in the game, Tiamat. This fight against the Fish Knight is all about manipulation.
Yeah, Tiamat is by far the hardest boss in both speedruns from a technical standpoint in this version and from a randomness factor in the original. But
so Tiamat was Mother's first child, just to throw out a little bit of lore. She thought herself to be as great as the mother, so she wound up going off and creating all sorts of different forms of life. So all of the different mini-bosses we're fighting in this area are actually Tiamat's children, and we won't be able to challenge her until we've killed them all.
yeah, and that's actually like a piece of mythology too. I was talking to Nomad last night, and he was saying it's based on like the Lamia, and the Lamia is like sort of a life giver to things.
This boss is weirdly easy and incredibly dangerous at the same time.
Yeah.
So anytime he's not in his energy form, he doesn't really do much. Anytime he is in his energy form, he's doing a gargantuan amount of damage to you. So you really have to watch.
Yeah. Originally, he just kind of crapped out these huge orbs that float around the room. In this version, they just made him the giant orb, and it was kind of scary.
I don't know how I avoided that attack.
That was really awesome.
We have $30 from Skylar Elser. Love watching GDQs. Always find new runners to watch and new games to play. Llama has made my games to play list.
It's just gonna be like Lemur Llama by the end of this. Like the name changes at least twice a day. This one teaches you, or basically reveals tablets of the death and birth spells, which we'll be chanting later towards specific fairies to make a potion.
Those are two of the tablets that are in Bob.
Yeah, that's why you needed that. One attack's not bad.
The puzzle in this room relates to the number of Tiamat's children that are alive, either odd or even. This child is 100% predictable, so if this fight goes poorly, it's entirely my fault. I think I already screwed up. Yeah,
It's basically a reverse play on how the original fight worked. The original, it summoned a bunch of snakes from the scene, but they were just common enemy snakes. The remade version, or the original, you had to kill the ball itself. The remade version is you have to kill the snakes. So it's kind of a nice twist on that sort of original idea they had.
The original was really easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, every boss is way harder. The combat is much harder, but the original is more puzzle oriented, so basically it's a pick your poison.
We have $50 from David Caswell. Great stuff. Nice.
Her face is so dirty.
This is another fairly predictable fight.
Yeah.
You can manipulate where he goes just by where you stand in the room. And the chakrams are very, very powerful.
So the next mini boss he's going to go find is Mashushu, or Mashusu, one or the other, who is the hide and seek master.
The hint for this one is found that a tablet is
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's in a totally different area. You have to whip left and right or attack left and right in certain spots in different rooms.
Yeah, basically I'm summoning the souls of some of Tiamat's recently deceased children, and that's what's going to reveal Mashusu's room.
Yeah.
So, on top of that, coming up is going to be my fight against Tiamat. Tiamat is, as J-Man was saying earlier, it's the hardest boss fight in this game. The speedrun strats that we use for this are incredibly dangerous. Shoutouts to Sneaky Canuck. So I'm going to be taking a lot of damage throughout that fight, damage boosting myself onto her shoulder using bombs. And then Tiamat herself is going to be doing a lot of damage to me. And I am going to go ahead and just call some serious time for that.
Yeah.
Because if I screw up during that fight, she will kill me.
You want to make like a safety save before the fight?
I already did.
You already did?
Yep.
Yeah, both of us basically make a safety save before that fight in each version respectively. Yeah, in the original you had to put a weight into a pedestal and push the wall for like 30 seconds to reveal Mashushu, so that's why I call him the hide and seek master.
Okay.
Right.
Here
Good
we
luck,
go.
man. Right on.
Excellent.
That's so precise. Like,
So that laser attack that she uses at the end there does about 114 damage.
it's insane how much damage it does, and it's also incredibly difficult to dodge if you're trying to go around it. I've dodged it maybe once. Most people just caltrops through it. Like, it is not a fun attack.
Yeah, for the speedrun, I abuse the invulnerability frames by just taking a little damage kiss off of her elbow. And it gives me just enough time to not die.
Yeah.
We have $10 from Andrew O'Connor. I missed the roll call at the beginning of the game. Can we get the name and or Twitch channel for the righteous dude doing the commentary? Also, this goes to GoldenEye 100%. This is Dasabro. Our runners are J-Man, and we have Hidden on the left.
So now that all of the Guardians are dead, we're going to go about doing what J-Man was talking about earlier, which is driving a spiritual wedge into the Mother, who is actually the entirety of the ruins.
Yeah.
So all of her different children have failed to send her back to space, and she's pretty ticked off about that. And every time she gets reasonably ticked off enough, she will wipe out one of her children. And as it turns out, humanity is next on the chopping block. So
Yeah.
we need to defeat the Mother. But of course, with her being the size of the entirety of these ruins, we have to find another way to defeat her, which is why we're going to be using the mantras to essentially stake her soul into a specific part of the ruins, at which point we can fight her.
Form, yeah. The original hint for the wedges and driving them has the very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate wording of drive the wedges into Mother's rear. So there's that. Yeah, something similar to that, but it's very unfortunately worded.
Yeah, basically what it's talking about is that all of the Guardians of the game were protecting something sort of hidden and sacred. And in order to draw a connection between what they were protecting, you actually have to drive the wedge in through the back side of the ruins. So each field has... Yeah, in most cases. So each field has a front side and a back side. So the front side, for example, would be the Temple of the Moon, and the back side to that area is the... Oh yeah, other way around. Temple of the Sun, and then the Temple of the Moon is the back side.
Yeah, and that's actually, that's an easy mistake to make because that's the one area where you actually drive, you do it reverse. Basically, you find the hint in the front, and then, yeah, it's...
Shoutouts to Mega Man.
Originally, these were just collapsing platforms. So he's about to do a... Are you going to do that glitch right now, I believe?
Yeah, in a second. So some of the other runners, particularly the Schwartz, consider this to be the scariest room in the speedrun.
I consider it to be the scariest room in the speedrun in both versions.
You might not be able to see them, but those invisible flying fish are on that screen, along with those ghosty things. And if they knock me into that pit, it's going to cost me about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, because you have to walk all the way back around to get back up here, and there's no other alternate solution. It's pretty annoying.
I'm abusing yet another Lamp of Time glitch to get into this statue of a snake right here.
This is allowing him to skip, is it 3 mantras?
Yes.
Yeah, you skip 3 mantras, which is something I only dream of in the original. You can't skip any of them.
We have $64 from Daniel Auger. Just want to say great job, everyone. First time watching a GDQ, but never have I enjoyed more watching my childhood get ripped apart by what these fantastic runners can do. Gotta make sure my favorite party N64 game gets the full treatments. This is all going to GoldenEye 100%. Keep up the good work, guys, and good luck, have fun.
So the area I'm going to right now is I'm making a return trip to the Shrine of the Mother, which I'll need to do before the end of the game. Now, transitioning through that area, I'm going to take a whole lot of damage, so I want to do that right now so that I can get an opportunity to heal up before... Actually, I need to damage that way. An opportunity to heal up before we go and fight the final boss.
We have $50 from Rick Sturkenberg. Lenub acting as a messenger again to J-Man. From Mega G Wolf this time. Hi J-Man, this is Elliot. Can I birth an ocarina with you? Thanks, love from G. P.S. Hauser's response to the puzzle explanation? Why?
Right on. Yeah, unfortunately, chanting the mantras is the backtracking padding portion of the game, so there's actually not a whole lot to explain about it.
Yeah, it's
Although this is a really awesome looking area.
yeah. So the Shrine of the Mother has changed a little bit since we were last here.
This is basically Mother getting up on the wrong side of the bed, and this is essentially her form is just unfathomable, and she's like her tentacles are kind of spreading out through the ruins, and it's like, oh,
The
we
orange,
screwed up.
the orange tentacles serve as platforms where they're darkened. I can actually walk just in front of them. I really have to watch out for the red tentacles in this area because they will hurt me, and boy, do they hurt a lot.
Do they do like 50 damage or so?
No, it's about 20 per tentacle, but I have to go through.
So many of them. That
Yeah,
you have to be
there's-
careful. Yeah.
There's quite a number of them.
We have $50 from Bevan Krause. Awesome games, amazing cause. This is the best here. Keep it up, everyone. Llama Llama Hype. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice. Let's keep going on the 100% Bionic Commando. We have 20 from Gregory Dang. We have 10 from James Moskovich. We have 25 from Matthew Richards. Thank you guys for all your donations.
So, confession of a fan of the original music. This is one track I actually like more in the remake, and it's one of my favorite tracks.
So we did all that harassing of Beelzebub earlier in the run, and now's the point where we're supposed to fight him.
This makes me so mad because in the original, the triggers, the walls close even if you use the time stopper. So they broke something that wasn't broken, and you can just skip him in this version.
I bet it makes Beelzebub mad too. That's the whole point.
Beelzebub's just still hanging out in the collapsed ruins of La-Mulana, just being like, man, this sucks. They forgot about me.
So I saved and quit to the menu there because if the Lamp of Time is active when you quit out of the game or save and quit out of the game, your lamp charge will refill automatically for some bizarre reason. It's probably a
Yeah, works
glitch
the
of some
same way in
kind.
both versions.
So that'll save me probably about 20 seconds from having to go get another one.
There's no lamp refilling point. You have to wait.
3 minutes. It's 3 minutes, yeah. It's 3. Yeah, it feels like 5 because 3 is still really slow. But generally, the way it's routed in the original, you would use them at key intervals and you would have enough for the whole game. There's only like one point I think I save reload it, but that's if I mess something up. Yeah,
So
and
this
that's-
is the mantra skip. V is normally the 4th mantra that you will go through. I skipped doing the other 3 by doing that Lamp of Time glitch that I did earlier.
Yeah, which is nice. It saves a lot of unnecessary backtracking.
Last opportunity for the fairies to troll me. Oh, and they succeed.
How many key fairies have we gotten since we haven't gotten a key fairy when we needed it?
That one wasn't a key fairy, that was a weapon fairy.
Oh, right. It's 4 stars, not 2. My bad.
Yeah, the weapon fairy is a fairy that you will never see in any of my runs ever.
What, you don't want to equip grenades to the weapons fairy and run around and die so hard?
So, as I was saying earlier, there's a lot of items or objects in the ruins that are considered sacred. So what the weapon fairy does is use your currently selected sub-weapon all the time. And normally
Grenades are
that
so good.
yeah, normally that winds up with you getting struck by lightning a whole lot.
Here is New Wa, who is kind of like sort of almost a sister to Tiamat in this version. It's, yeah.
We have $30 from Michael McLaughlin. Tyler, go to bed. I know speedruns are awesome, but Shep and I are worried. Llama Llama Power. And we have $10 from Daniel Pfeiffer. Announcer's choice, but say Llama Llama Duck. Llama Llama Duck.
We need to have like a bid war between how to actually pronounce this game's name. Like,
I'd be on Llama Llama.
Lamu, it's a game you play. It is, yeah. I actually didn't know that until recently, and I felt really stupid when I found that out. But for those that don't know, Naramura is one of the devs, one of the 4 main devs on La-Mulana. This is actually a 4-person project. At least the original was. I know they had some testers and stuff for this one. But primarily, it's 4 guys. Anyways, go on.
So now we're really going to start kicking with these mantras. I've got everything that I need to finish the game. Almost.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that clip. The swag clip from all the way up there.
Oh man, that would have been impressive.
I pull it off a lot on my streams, but...
Marathon luck.
Yep. Apparently I'm just gonna face plant all over the place now.
That's the one thing I hated that they added, is just like...
I saw the fall animation.
Yeah. Like, adding fall animations just made me so sad, because I just dropped down from unnecessary heights everywhere, and now it's like I have to wait a couple seconds if I miss that now. And in the original, these mantras, you actually have to type them out on your keyboard, like letter for letter. And they just give you an item that you hold up, and it does it in this version.
Well, the Wii doesn't have a keyboard.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, so the Wii version, their solution to that was you learned them and you held up an object that chanted it for you. Yeah, it was ported. They should have brought it back. I want to see the horrible, like, typing return.
One of the things you'll note that I do in front of all these charges is that I do a lot of the menu work, or have done a lot of the menu work in front of the structure that charges the length of time. So the reason why I do that is because when you're in the menu interacting with your items, the game timer is actually still running. And because of that, I can still... I can combine waiting for the lamp charge with menuing, and that'll save a little bit of time.
So, this whole mantras thing, if you're wondering how you find these, it's a very complex puzzle. You basically have to do a lot of... there's basically symbols that act as anchor points, and the room where you defeated the boss acts as a secondary anchor point. You kind of have to find somewhere in between all that, the proper room on the grid, because every area is on a same-size grid.
So reverse time the boss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go back to the boss in that area, you can then see the web sticking out there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It takes a lot of people a long time to figure out the mantras. Most people figure it out just by running around, like flailing their stuff everywhere.
So a lot of the puzzles in this game are very confusing and difficult to work out by yourself, but even just as a platformer, this game is a lot of fun. So if the idea of solving those kinds of puzzles and spending, you know, like 40, 45, 50 hours in the game.
Yeah, it's rare you can spend that long on a platformer and enjoy the whole experience. But this is a game that does that very well.
Yeah, and you know, if you're not super into the puzzles as well, the platforming action in the game is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So
the remake has a better balance that I would definitely. The remake is somewhere dead center of combat and action and puzzles, whereas the original, you want to just put on your thinker cap for a while.
Yeah, but
Nice timing on that, though.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm sure that was planned.
nope,
At least somewhat.
nope, not even remotely.
Well, I mean, you got lucky with it, so you have a good bit of health to work with, so.
Yep, and we are going to be going in here to fight mothers. We've done, well, just about everything else.
Yeah.
For the any % road anyways.
Yeah. 100% is, what, like 3.5 hours, I think? I don't remember. I looked not that long ago, but you have to add on Hell Temple and all that fun stuff, so.
We have a $25 donation from Andrew Melnick. Hey, what's up, Dacid? It's Rain of Soden. Sorry about Soden. I know how that feels, but you're always in my heart. Make sure to keep up the dancing. What's up, Jay and crew? Remember those times, Jay, when we were going through this in Japanese? That was crazy. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Hidden, good job in taking this run the distance it needs to go. Everyone, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I'm there in spirit, cheering you all on, and wishing I could enjoy some food. Here's to the next GDQ. Rain.
And now the inferior version of Goodnight Mom.
Awesome pattern from that.
I like the old version so much more than I like the new version. Yeah, it's still a good song, no, but it's just, yeah. Baby laser? Aw, no baby laser.
Funnily enough, or funny enough, Mother's fourth phase right there does not have iframes, so more caltrop abuse.
That is the phase I'm most sad about the changes. There's a huge puzzle for that in the original where you have to hit 2 different eyes in a certain order, and there's tablets scattered throughout the game. Yeah, I'll explain that one if I run the original during bonus stream. I'll explain that one better because it takes a bit. But in this one, it's just like an eyeball that floats and it crashed! Are you kidding?
Well done, Hidden. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Llama hype.
Marathon luck for the win.
That was, yeah.
No.
Go, safety save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I wonder why it does that.
We have tried to figure that one out. I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, huh? Well, that sucks.
That is a crash that happens right as Mother uses. So in her 5th form right there, she goes through all of the different attacks that she would use, or all of the different attacks that the various bosses in the game that you've already fought. Amphisbaena, Sackett, Elmac, all the way through.
I feel like I should apologize for that one. You guys did mention that I jinxed it, so there it goes.
So when she goes to use Sakit's attack for the first time, there is a very rare crash that can occur, and we're not really sure what causes it. It has ruined world record pace runs of mine in the past. That'll be, I think, the 2nd or 3rd time that's happened to me in about 6 months, to give you some idea of how rare it is.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought it happened because of practice.
That was one of those times.
Again, like.
First day of the
Both versions of this game have their crash points. The original, your mileage may vary because it's very finicky on what it wants to work with.
I've never had it.
I had a crash after the Gradius minigame in Hell Temple, and I'm definitely not sad about that or anything.
We have a $105 donation from Robert Legg with no comment. Thank you, Robert.
Baby laser. Baby laser. Baby laser.
She doesn't live long enough in this phase, actually, to execute the baby laser attack.
It's a damn shame.
It is a shame. It's very funny.
It's a fantastic attack. It makes you use all your weapons. It feels more... Well, actually, the final phase in this, I feel, is a better final phase, but it feels more climactic in the original because you're forced to use all your different weapons on the different phases. I can see why they might have... Yeah, the final phase I like a lot, but I see why they, like, changed it.
Everybody hold on to your butts.
I would like to, because this chair is actually kind of starting to hurt.
We're good at this point.
Yeah. Okay. In it to win it.
Good. So there's a quick kill strat here that I actually need to concentrate on, so I won't be able to explain it right away. Let's see if I can... Yeah, I can reset that. So I lost control of her pattern. Normally I can manipulate exactly what I want her to do, but I made a little bit of a mistake. So we're gonna have to play this her way.
Ooh. Close fight.
Close fight.
That's usually how that phase goes, though. Like, that's what I kind of like about the remake. It's actually a pretty close fight. So in the background there, it looks like she's trying to produce the 9th child to sort of replace us. And the sequel's sort of subtitle is the ninth child in the 0th body or something, so it may have something to do with that. But
There is a tablet in the game that makes reference to.
the
It
sequel,
says,
yeah.
"Ye, the 8th child, shall be destroyed in the year 2015." And as it turns out, that is Nigoro's planned release date for La-Mulana 2.
Yeah, and that whole game, based on what I know from the demo, is basically about bringing about Ragnarok, which is in Norse mythology, which is basically, if I remember right, like the flooding of the earth and destruction of basically everything. So that's going to be super exciting. Like, I'm stoked about that.
So we've destroyed the mother's soul, and now the ruins are collapsing.
Yeah.
So in classic Metroidvania, or Metroid, I guess. Yeah.
You gotta do the escape. The original, it was just a cutscene, and right there on that very ladder, the game will soft lock because you skip key items, and the maze gets trapped in the ruins. He probably opens a shop or something. You know, that's the end of the game.
Also, nice working space there.
I've just been informed by Mike Uyama that there's been an extra incentive for Tony Hawk. If $1,000 are met before the Tony Hawk block starts, there will be a Tony Hawk 2 run.
Also, normally there are a bunch of places you can get out of the
They're all locked off, and figuring out how to escape in Japanese, you didn't get the hint that Moldrock tells you to come running if everything is exploding. So basically, it was just the last place that we tried, and it happened to work, and it was just like, wow, thanks, game. Yeah, no, it's neat to see them blocked off until you have to fight Mother again. Nope. Nope. You have to refight the final boss if you fail the escape.
We're
It's
coming
pretty
up on
brutal.
time here. It'll be when I make the screen transition out of this screen. Time. $154.34.
Not bad, not bad. You got a skimpy swimsuit save? You
Yeah.
must pause and show the best dance.
Yeah, if I've got another minute here, actually, I'm going to skip out of the
There's also
credits.
a $900 donation to show it off that I read earlier, so.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was just a request to show off the skimpy swimsuit, so we
All
may
right.
as well. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah, so I'm going to skip the credits here because I want to show something off. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate that run to Sophia Taylor.
That was the donation.
1,001.
What, 1,100? It was 900 when I read it, so they must have upped it. But yeah, that was no. Okay.
Basically what happened was the donation was originally, it said to La-Mulana Remake, but for some reason 900
Okay.
of it was labeled as we put something else.
Gotcha.
So we just left that as well for
Okay.
with the remainder to remake.
So I don't have enough time to go through Hell Temple today. If you want to see that, you
Nobody
can
has
come
enough
by
time
my
for that.
you can come by my stream. I've got a couple of highlights and I play it sometimes. But there is so Hell Temple is a area in the game which, as much as La-Mulana is regularly a jerk to you, Hell Temple is just that much more of a jerk to you. So you fight through this whole area. It's very, very difficult. You get to the end, and your reward
Is the greatest thing of all time.
is the forbidden treasure.
Just
So as you can see from LeMaze's character here, it is a provocative bathing suit.
you have to pause too and show the dance.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so amazing.
So LeMaze doesn't eat curry when you pause it anymore and then fall asleep. He does this.
So good.
I don't remember if I have scared off Malbrook in the save already. Yeah, if you
Oh
come,
yeah, no,
if you come back to Malbrook, she will run away in terror. And there's also another fun message that you can get from Zelpud here.
Yeah, transitions rooms.
Good times. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you very much, Hidden. Thank you very much, J-Man.
All right. Good job, man.
If you're looking for another way to support Doctors Without Borders, the subscriber button will go entirely to Doctors Without Borders. So if you want some fun emotes in the chat
Run in general.
and a symbol that shows how much you support,
Why didn't you have good RNG?
you can subscribe.
Good RNG and no crashes.
I hope everyone enjoyed Llama Llama.
We had events. I think we put that. I think we're the first one. Yeah, first one. Yeah.
We have a $20 donation from Dudley Dominguez.
Rotate that monitor.
I noticed y'all aren't having much pun, so here's one for the stream. Did you hear about the guy who got hit in the head with a can of soda? He was lucky it was a soft drink.